Mohamed Nasheed, GCSK, is a Maldivian politician, current Speaker of the People's Majlis since May 2019 and formerly the fourth President of the Maldives from 2008 to 2012. He is the first democratically elected President of the Maldives and is also one of the founders of the Maldivian Democratic Party. In the first round of the 2008 presidential election, he won 25% of the votes and was later assigned as the candidate of the first opposition coalition, defeating President Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, who had governed the Maldives as president for 30 continuous years. Nasheed assumed office on the 11th of November 2008. Nasheed later worked with Maumoon Abdul Gayoom to defeat President Yamin in the 2018 presidential election. On the 7th of February 2012, Nasheed resigned as president under disputed circumstances, following weeks of protests by the opposition, which had then been joined by a majority of military and police forces. The next day, he stated that he had been forced to resign, at gunpoint, by police and army officers, and that the protesters had joined with powerful networks of Gayoom loyalists to force his resignation in a coup d'etat. His successor, Muhammad Wahid Hassan, who had been a 2003 political appointee of Gayoom, denied these claims and stated that the transfer of power was voluntary and constitutional. The Maldives Commission of National Inquiry reported that it had found no evidence to support Nasheed's version of events. In March 2015, Nasheed was convicted under the Anti-Terrorism Act of Maldives for arresting criminal court judge Abdullah Mohammed while president, and sentenced to 13 years at Mafushi prison. Amnesty International has described the conviction as politically motivated, and the United States Department of State expressed concern at apparent lack of appropriate criminal procedures during the trial. In 2016, he was given asylum in the United Kingdom, where he had gone for medical treatment. On the 29th of June 2018, he renounced his plans to contest the country's presidential elections, citing legal obstacles. He said the Election Commission's decision to reject his victory in a party primary poll was illegal and demanded that the authority be sanctioned. After his childhood best friend, relative and party's candidate, Ibrahim Soli, won presidential elections in 2018, Nasheed returned to the Maldives, where he won the seat for Machangolhi Meidhu constituency in parliamentary elections the following year with a total of 1054 votes, subsequently taking office as Speaker of Parliament. On the 6th of May 2021, an assassination attempt was made against Nasheed near his home. While getting into his car, he sustained injuries and is currently undergoing surgery. Nasheed was born in Male, Maldives, to a middle-class family. He attended Majia School in Maldives between 1971 and 1981. He continued his secondary school education at Overseas School of Colombo in Sri Lanka from 1981 to 1982 until he completed his GCE levels. In August 1982 he moved to England, where he completed his higher secondary education at Donsey School in Wiltshire. Straight after his GCE levels, Nasheed moved north to Liverpool, where he spent the next 3 years reading in maritime studies at Liverpool Polytechnic. Graduating in 1989, Nasheed was held in prison for an article in the political magazine Sangu, published in 1991, alleging the government had rigged the 1989 general election. He was named an Amnesty International Prisoner of Conscience in 1991. He has stated that he was tortured while in detention, including being chained to a chair outside for 12 days and forced to eat food containing crushed glass. He was later alleged by the government to have withheld information about a bombing plot. On the 8th of April 1992, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison on that charge. He was released in June 1993, then re-arrested in 1994 and 1995. In 1996 he was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for an article he had written about the 1993 and 1994 Maldivian elections, and was again designated a prisoner of conscience. In all, he was arrested more than 20 times during Gayoom's rule, missing the births of both of his daughters. During his time in jail, he spent significant amounts of time studying, producing 3 books on Maldivian history. In 1999, he was elected as a member of parliament representing Male. However, he was forced to leave office on a theft charge that the BBC and other international media sources described as politically motivated. In September 2003, Nasheed requested that a doctor view the body of Hassan Ewan Naseem, a 19-year-old prisoner who had died in Mafushi jail while serving a term for drug possession. The subsequent investigation revealed that Naseem had been tortured to death. This revelation, and the violent suppression of the prison riot that followed, sparked the anti-government protests of the 2003 Maldives civil unrest, leading to the first state of emergency in Maldivian history and a turning point.